That's my dog.
You can hear this. You are not alone. This is the resistance.
Yes, everyone, this is Tin Man TV. I, of course, am your host, the Tin Man, Chris Sheldon, with the Worldwide Resistance Network. If you are watching this, you are the Resistance, and this is Math Monster Blue, the fictitious product based off this product that doesn't actually exist. I'm just being a smartass because we are not sponsored by anybody. We don't get APAC money. We don't have any corporate sponsors. We are of the people, by the people, for the people. So if you like these broadcasts, please support us by checking out our online store, REALTWWRN.printify.me. And if that's not your cup of tea, that breaks my heart, but it costs nothing to share the live feeds, costs nothing to follow us on our various social medias, X, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, all that jazz. And it costs nothing to be a part of the conversation. Comments are now enabled. So come be a part of the conversation. Share your thoughts, opinions, trolls, facts, information, whatever. Whereas most political podcasts and radio hosts, they just throw out a hotline number, take a few calls, and say, hey, there's 9 billion people on the planet. Let's bring them in. Let's everybody talk. Let's really fuck some shit up. So, enjoy the podcast and feel free to join in the conversation at any point that tickles your fancy. At which point, Tommy Bird, I am going to give you the floor, my friend. You wanted this podcast, you got it, brother. So today, we will be talking about essentially the red pill movement. Tommy Bird, why don't you go into a bit of detail for us in hindsight as to what we are going to be discussing today?
Well, a lot of people talk about all the bad things about women and relationships, and I kind of want to get down to why is it hard for men to date women these days, and why men don't generally want the hassle of it per se. I also want to talk about how things used to be better in the past and what we can do to fix it.
Basically, get back to that point, right? And that is something that they don't generally talk about on a lot of these podcasts, like Andrew Tate and others. Like when the red pill topic comes up, we really don't hear about any solutions. We hear men shutting down, saying the hell with relationships, refusal to tolerate women's bullshit and whatnot, that men are just tired of it, so they're opting out of relationships as a whole. And that kind of seems to me like the grand plan. You know, these globalist nut jobs, they're attacking the nuclear family, they're attacking relationships, they're attacking traditional marriage and traditional relationships. They're attacking it on every front to the point that everybody's like, we're done.
Well, I personally believe that is the government's fault because they're keeping the hate going to where we can't bear more children in America.
Well, I mean, you ain't got no problem with that. How many kids you got?
5.
Damn, man, get off her!
I am a proud father of 5. Yes, I love all my children. And that's another thing. Basically, I do believe it takes, if you're going to have children, children need their father and their mother in their lives.
Agreed.
It's not, a lot of people are saying that men don't want to bear child support, but men are majority of the ones paying child support, but there are women out there that pay child support as well.
Yeah, there are rare instances where the father gets primary custody. That happened with you with your first 2 children, correct?
Exactly. I unfortunately don't have the liberty of being with one of my children. If anybody has the right to hate women, I'm not saying they don't, but I have a really big reason why I should hate women. But I don't. I don't hate women. I don't judge people for what I've been through because everybody's different.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You can't blame one woman for the actions of another.
If that's the case, I would never.
Past one.
You know, I used to be one of those people. Women are a joke. All they care about is finances, which most women kind of do. I'm not saying they don't.
Especially some of the younger generations, they get caught up in those dynamics, the princess treatment and whatnot.
I think a lot of these reasons because they don't have the fathers in their lives. They don't have that order in their life. Basically, like, okay, so a mother's job is love, and a father's job is wisdom and pretty much tough love. You know what I mean? Like, order.
The mother would be there to shelter and protect the children, and the father would be there to bring in order and structure.
Exactly. So basically, if you are a single mother, which I am not doubting or putting down any single mothers out there, I do give a lot of respect to single mothers out there who have no choice. I'm not saying all men are good.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes the man is the problem.
But my thing is,
we've seen certain people who would fit that category. I mean,
I would honestly
know people who would fit that category. Shitty husbands or shitty fathers or shitty boyfriends.
Exactly. But I do believe at least 80 to 90% of relationships don't work out is because of the woman. Most women claim they want independency and they want to have roles as men. And I think that's the problem in America.
Women trying to be men.
Right.
And now you notice they're relatively miserable. They wanted equality. Then they wanted to be men. Then they wanted to turn the men into women. And now everybody's fucking miserable.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're living in the times today that there's, let's just say, a fairy tale. They're not coming back down to reality. A lot of people are misguided away from God. Women refuse to submit to their husbands. And now let me say this. I do believe that a woman should stay at home. These day and age, it does take 2 parents to work these days. I'm not saying that it don't, but if you can and able, your wife should not be working. She should be at home taking care of the children. And
if at some point she wants to work or take some creative liberties, then that's another matter. But she shouldn't. We shouldn't live in a society where 2 parents have to work. It should be optional at that point.
It's kind of like this. Like, say if you're in a relationship and it works out, a woman can say, "Oh, it didn't work out at this job. I am going to leave this job because my feelings are hurt, or they're not understanding, or I'm not." Us men cannot say that. We have to have a job. It's like we're living in a society that we are the providers, and we should be. Even since the beginning, even when Eve gave the fruit to Adam, Adam had to plow the fields, and she's the one that bare the children. So
Yeah.
A lot of women want equal. I'm all for it to a degree. I say if women want equal rights, they should be also enlisted to go to the military and fight a war or serve our country.
Yeah, if it's going to be equality, it should be
If we're
equality
going to be
universally.
drafted, I think women should be drafted as well. That's why I don't believe that women have the right to vote. And it's not because I'm being sexist, because when us men think, we think logically, we don't think emotionally. And women have heart.
Women think with their emotion. They're loyal to their emotions and how they feel in the moment. Which let's not mince words. A lot of men are as well.
I'm not saying they're not.
Yeah, but it is a predominantly female trait, and we unfortunately live in a society, and not a lot of people really talk about this. Like they'll allude to it, and they'll get into some of the details, but like to really just hit the nail on the head. Women wanted equality, but we have long since surpassed that and gone into a female biased society. A lot of women want to say it's a man's world. It really isn't. You look at the court system, you look at marriage, and this is why a lot of men opt out of it, because women have the right to initiate divorce. They initiate the divorce majority of the time. In fact, the highest divorce rate is between lesbian couples, followed closely second by heterosexual couples. Divorce initiated by women. It is the lowest divorce rate is 14% in gay men. It is gay men who have the lowest divorce rate. And
this is true.
Women have the right to initiate the divorce. They primarily get alimony, child custody, child support. They get rewarded in every sense of the word for breaking a contract. In no other sense in the world could you legally break a contract and be rewarded for it.
See, that's one thing I don't understand. Oh God, I can go into a lot of details. Like,
why would I want to go to hell again?
What? I hate to bring the subject up, but it's a perfect example. Like abortion, a woman has the right, if she does not want this child, she would claim it's her body, and she could do what she wants with it. But she don't realize that children's half mine, or the man's. And the fact that society...
Yeah, the man has no legal recourse.
Women have no idea how much rights they actually have, and we don't. We may run the things.
Have a great deal more power than men do.
We may fight. We're the best builders. We're the one that build the economy. My thing is the women are running it. Like, we have no rights when it comes to our children. We have no rights when it comes to any situation when it comes to a female.
Yeah. They get all the perks and none of the responsibility is what the primary argument is.
So,
correct?
Yeah. So what they're trying to say is that, well, I'm not going to fight a war, but you're going to treat me just as much as you treat other men. It don't work that way.
No. And most women, they want a traditional relationship. They want a man who's going to take charge, but they don't want to submit. They want a man who's going to be a leader, a provider, and a protector, but they don't want to submit. They want to have their cake and eat it too. Right. And that's a hypocrisy. You can't have it both ways.
Nope.
And I'm not knocking an independent woman, but if you want a relationship and you want two people cannot be in the driver's seat. So either you're going to have to settle for a beta or you're going to have to sit in the passenger seat. It's one or the other. One of you is going in the passenger seat or nobody's driving.
This younger generations, it's kind of like when they live in a household and you're married and you have children, but the woman will not submit. It's like saying, for instance, if she's not working and he is, let's just say he's working. Mm-hmm. A woman will not make dinner, will not do his clothes, will not do anything for him. And a lot of men are starting to realize that. So what's the point even of being in a relationship? Let me explain. So I feel if you go back in the 50s and 60s, like you would think if the man go work, I think the women should nurture the man so he can provide. It takes two. And it's not out of who's better or who's in charge. It's about love, man. If my wife
Yes.
is working and I'm not working, you don't think I'm going to make her a sandwich? You don't think I'm going to do her
Yeah.
clothes? You don't think I'm going to do everything I can for her? I'm her husband. I think it's equal. So basically, if she cooks, I do the dishes. She fills the trash, I take it out. If I'm working,
Yeah.
she's working at the house.
Yeah. One
You know
person
what I mean?
covers A, B, and C. The other covers 1, 2, and 3.
That's right. So
You have each person has a unique dynamic role, and even if the roles get reversed for whatever reason, those roles still apply, and somebody's got to do the job.
now let me talk to you men. You men need to stand up too. It's not just the women. If you're going to lead, then do it the right way and lead her to being happy and being more understanding with your women. Like, you're not above them. All right. They didn't come out of your head. They didn't come out of your legs or your feet to step on. They came out of your side, your rib. So you're supposed to be next to your spouse as not as one. So basically what I'm trying to say is that any man who thinks they are above women is garbage. I'm just saying women have certain rules and men have certain rules. And back in society, that's how it worked. We weren't better. We're just the more providers. But we're all the ones, we're the leaders too. We had to lead our women towards God. We had to lead our women towards respect. How we treat our girls, like our daughters and our sons. I treat my son to be tough, to provide, and respect women. I treat my daughters that they should respect men and accept him who he is and grow together. They're the heart. You got to realize women are the heart. Women can hold so much love inside of them. They have the greatest gift ever. My mother is a perfect example. My mother said something to me that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. She said,
Thomas, don't stick your dick in that toaster.
yeah, but I didn't push the thing down. Okay, listen. Hot pockets. Listen, it's just my mom said that if my dad's arm was around her and they were in a cardboard box in the alley, my mom would feel like she's at home because she's with my dad.
Yeah.
That's true love, man. It's not about finances. I think a man should provide. I think a man, but women are looking at men these days like wallets.
Yeah.
How much money and how are you going to spoil me? I think a man should pay for the first date. A lot of men are going to hate me for saying that, but if you're going to pursue a woman, you should pay for the date.
Yeah. Maybe not a fancy dinner at a 5-star restaurant, but maybe
get a cup of coffee.
A coffee, maybe a movie, maybe a stroll in the park. A date should be about conversation and getting to know one another and see if that's something. See if a relationship is something you want to pursue.
Yeah, I realize dates is like it's like an interview for your future.
Exactly. You shouldn't have to pay several $100s for an interview.
Right. That's why you should date. I have this girlfriend, boyfriend thing. I'm like,
keep talking. I'm gonna grab a soda.
Yep. So bottom line is that I just believe that there's not enough respect and there's not a lot of what's the word? Surrender. No, I'm not saying we're leaders. Men are leaders. Without men, we wouldn't even have half the stuff we have in America. Buildings, structures, oil, gas, electricity. There's a lot of things. I mean, men pretty much built this country. And I'm saying this not out of hate. I'm going to say this out of love. But if we took every man out of this world and it was just women, I promise you it would fall. You guys, women are not built that way.
No, everybody has their strengths and weaknesses.
But I fully believe that women are smarter than men. So I think what it is that that's why they put women in medical areas and lawyers and stuff, because they're
no doubt.
physically smarter.
You think somebody who's stupid is going to be able to manipulate a man into fucking buying her everything she wants without her putting out? Come on. It takes a certain amount of intelligence to be able to manipulate a man, somebody who's been out in the world and has not had the world handed to him. It takes a great deal of intelligence to be able to fucking manipulate another human being. Let's not mince words.
If a woman can have respect for their man, because you got to realize we hold so much inside, like depression. But we're
Which right now, just to be clear, I want to throw this out here. I don't know if you're aware of this, but it is actually Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Yeah, it's getting overshadowed by Gay Pride Month bullshit, but
it's
traditionally it is Men's Mental Health Month.
So men were built, if you get a scratch, rub dirt on it. We're not meant eat, work, shit, and die. That's pretty much how we were raised by other great men. But we're living in a society today that we're so soft, it's making me sick.
And that's the problem. It goes back to what you were saying before, that both parents need to be in the child's life.
Right. Now,
a male, the daughters need to be able to see how a man is supposed to be treated by the way their parents interact.
Let's give this.
They need to know how to be treated and how to treat another man, and vice versa. Boys need to learn how to be men by their father's example, and they can't if only one parent is there. You're going to be missing those essential elements. There are things that both the son and the daughter must learn from the mother and the father. There are things that's
what I'm saying
is unique and has to teach.
Now, I say this out of love. I don't mean this out of hate. So if anybody in the world in the future sees this today or the future, I just want to know that I don't mean this out of context. I believe that men, like if you were to leave each other, I think the men have the rights to their children more because we can give them more order in their life. Women,
order, structure, financial stability.
That's right. So my kids now it blows my mind. So think about it. My kids that I have now listen to me more than their mother. But their mother yells at them too, gives them a swat. They're bad. Tries to reach in and hug them and love on them when they're kiss their boo-boos. And the dads, what I do is I say, you know what? You're all right. Get up. You're not hurt. Rub dirt on it. Come here. Why are you crying? If you keep crying, then you're going to stand there for another 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Or
you want to cry, I'll give you something to cry about. Right?
But tell me why my children respect me more than their mother.
Well, it goes back to what you were saying before, about how things used to be.
So here's the thing.
It used to be kids fuck up and their parent and the mother would go, wait till your father gets home. And the kids would be dreading that shit. And the dad comes home and the fear of God then enters those children because daddy don't fuck around. Homie don't play that.
That's why I believe that a father should be in a child's life. Now, the mother, she is the love of the relationship. So she's going to teach you.
She's the lover and the nurturer.
Yeah, she's going to teach you how to love and have humility, and she's going to teach you how to have acceptance. You need guidance and acceptance. You need love and you need logic. These two have order in the children's eyes. That's why 9 times out of 10, when the mother takes over the child's life and the father's no longer in the picture, they're most likely to grow up and do wrong in their lives because there's no order in their life.
Boys are more inclined to become betas or inclined to get involved in gangs or drugs or just even secular independent violence.
I think that's one of the main reasons why
daughters tend to be more promiscuous, more entitled, because their mothers taught them, oh, you're a princess, you deserve the world, make sure you do you, prioritize yourself. And now we have a society, that has created what we now see, and now men are resisting it because, not only do you have the mentality in society, but then you have the legal framework where men are at a tactical disadvantage. And this is why you see a lot of abusive relationships occurring nowadays, because people don't know how to act in a fucking relationship. And men have no legal recourse because women are rewarded for breaking a contract, whether it be the marriage contract or child custody or whatever. The courts and the legal system tend to favor the woman. If a woman beats the shit out of a guy and the police get a domestic violence report, even if the guy's covered in fucking bruises and she doesn't have a mark on her, 9 times out of 10, the guy will still go to jail if he has no way of proving that he didn't put hands on her.
And another thing is that this is how sick the world's becoming, because some women marry men to have children to purposely divorce them to have an income in their lives.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
That's why.
Or we'll get with somebody who has a lot of money and then turn around and divorce them.
Right.
So that they collect a large amount of alimony. Again, society rewards women for for bad behavior. And I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but if you look at the facts, how many cases do you see where men get rewarded child custody? How many cases is it where the woman has to be child support?
It is possible for a man to have custody, but we have to fight.
But it's very, very, very.
The man would have to prove and fight, and women
it's
don't.
An uphill battle.
Yeah, you would literally have to go to trials.
In secular court, not a lot of people know this, and you and I discussed this when I was helping you out a couple years back. The courts don't care about facts in civil matters. In criminal cases, the facts matter, evidence. But in a civil case whether it be a restraining order, child custody, divorce, whatever, it's reasonable doubt and judge's discretion. And 99% of the time, the judge is going to rule in favor of the female. And because it's a biased system. And now we're living in a society where men are at a tactical disadvantage, and they have no legal recourse. They have no community resource. They have nothing of which to defend themselves and to hold their relationship intact. Women want a man who is able to take charge and be a leader, a provider, and a protector, but they don't want to submit. And a man has no way of enforcing that or establishing any sort of position as a leadership role. Otherwise, he's seen as toxic masculinity. And if he tries to defend himself, then it just makes matters worse. And if things get to a point of violence, that's often because the man is at his wit's end, because he's got no other options. And I'm not condoning domestic violence, but we must acknowledge the reality that is not being covered here and is that men have no power. So if they are in a situation where their back's against the wall, what happens 9 times out of 10 when a man's back is against the wall? He comes out swinging because that's all he can do. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's reality. Society and the legal system in particular have created a system of self-destruction.
So how do we fix this? Now, I have a theory of how we could fix this. You know how we had, most men had to prove the women unfit to have their children. Okay.
On that,
how about
is this going to be your last point? Or do you have a lot more you want to cover? Like,
That's probably one of my last points.
okay, then let's go ahead and do our little plug real quick. I haven't done the commercial in a couple of podcasts, and I need to do that because, again, we are of the people by the people. Everything we do is carried by our viewership. And, the people that tune in, the people that follow us on our social media. None of this would be possible without you guys. So we need your support. Check out the online store. Follow us on our various social medias. Not just TWWRN, but also Revan as well. Yeah, that man is really hustling. Every time I turn around, he's got like 2 or 3 videos that he's uploaded. Man, the dude is fucking killing it. So show love to our boy, Revan Ordo, and check out our online store. Follow us on our various social medias, and we will be right back in a couple of minutes, if that. If I can find the commercial. Oh, no.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Reverend Ordo, and I'm a co-host of the Worldwide Resistance Network. I want to let you know about my content on my so here. Check me out on Minds, Gab, MeWe, Cloud Hub, Tumblr, Parler, Getter, Rumble, Scoops, TikTok. And also on YouTube, on the Anonymous Manawai Network and the Anonymous Republic Network. Also on Truth Social. And also check out the Worldwide Resistance Network. Also check out Tinman TV. Also on Tuesday evenings, Gray Jedi TV. Quote the Raven. These nuts. Peace.
You are watching Tinman TV on the Worldwide Resistance Network. If you are watching this, you are the resistance. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tinman TV. We are back, and I know we kind of just shot into that commercial break. I didn't want to cut you off, but we do got to do those plugs because, again, without it, we can't grow, we can't expand, we can't reach more people. But It's as much about you than it. In fact, it's all about you guys. I don't even know what I was going to say. It's all about you guys. Everything we do is for you guys. We don't take a cut off the profits here. Everything that we make from monetization in the online stores goes right back into TWWRN. Like this banner, I'm getting a new banner made, and this banner will go into Revan. We got Revan a gray lightsaber for his show, Gray Jedi TV. So I just want it stated for the record that everything that we do and everything that you do goes to further the operation, goes to get better equipment and reach more people. So again, check out the online store, share the live feeds, and follow us on our various social medias. And on that note, Tommy Bird, we've talked about some of the elements of the red pill movement, why men are shying away from relationships, and all the dynamics that are happening and how we got to this point. And now you want to transition to wanting to get back to where things were. So
yes, sir.
That in and of itself is a can of worms in and of itself. So let's go ahead and start breaking that down, brother.
Okay. Well, you know how, like I said, women, we have to prove women to be unfit for us to have our children.
Yes.
Well, what if we switched it to prove the unfit as a couple before we split up, like ban divorces?
Well, divorce has its purpose. It's just abortion does.
I'm just saying.
Hold on. Let me point out, divorce does have its purpose. Primarily, it should not be a revolving door, but it should be for extenuating circumstances such as adultery or a very real abuse or life-threatening situations.
Yes, sir. I agree.
Yeah, but beyond that, just because you're not happy or this, that, or the other, that's bullshit.
Well, that's why I said prove that the unfit couple. I agree with all of that you just said. So that's what I mean. If you are abusive and you can prove that the husband is abusive, then you should allow divorces. I think more marriages who stay together will solve a lot of problems in the United States.
It would. And, I think a lot of it has to do with because of the lack of moral conviction. A lot of people in society, say, oh, fuck religion and whatnot. But you know what? Some of those diehard religions, like the Mormons, the Jehovah's Witnesses, and to some extent the Catholics, have very firm roots and principles. Now, that doesn't apply universally to everybody because there are nobody's perfect. And, the divorces do happen. My father was a Jehovah's Witness and my mama was not his wife. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I have an older sister that I have never met. I don't even know her fucking name.
Well, I never knew that.
And my father, he was a Jehovah's Witness. So let's not mince words, but predominantly these faiths have very, very strict, very firm standards, especially when it comes to the family and things like adultery and divorce and shit like that. Therefore, you have a very, very low divorce rate and very, very low infidelity rate. So people need, and at least in terms of society, to get back to that balance. I mean, you look at Sharia law. A lot of liberals are very pro-Muslim right now, but if you actually look at Sharia law, the divorce rate is virtually non-existent because women are in the traditional roles. The dynamic never shifted in that culture because there was a zero tolerance policy for, hey, you want to be a horde, you want to engage in this unorthodox behavior that goes against our society, you're going to get your shit fucked up. Now, granted, they are very, very strict, and that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is, you don't have this red pill problem in that society.
What I'm trying to say is that we should need to bring back the old ways. Now, if you're not religious, then I'm going to speak about this a non-religious way.
Yeah,
But
go into
about
the dynamics of what you mean by the old ways, because that could be taken any which way. It will probably be misconstrued.
There's 4 things I want to talk about, and we could talk about each one if you want me to stop. So, first one, I believe, and we should talk about each one. We should not have sex until we're married.
Okay.
That should be one of the main things. So, it's very common for men that don't want women with a high body count.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of variables that, I mean, yes.
You're wrong. Go ahead.
With the high body count issue, most men don't want a woman with a high body count. And most women don't want a guy who's necessarily got a high body count either. It does go both ways. And plus you have the issue of STD transmissions. If you are rather promiscuous, especially before you settle down, that has a great impact on the body and the mind, and you run a great risk of getting an STD. The more partners you have, the higher the probability that you're going to contract something, even if it's just something small that can be treated with antibiotics. So it's always better safe than sorry in that regard. I mean, you do want to know what you're doing per se, but that's not to say that you can't learn. And that's another factor. It raises the expectation rate because not everybody's going to be the same in bed. And you could acquire a certain type of taste with a certain type of lover, but the person you settle down with might not meet those criteria 100%. So it's one of those things that you're setting yourself up for failure in every sense of the word.
Well, I agree with everything you just said. What I mean by it is that you can't get diseases, but what I mean by it is that sex is taken out of context. It should be sacred between the two people.
It should be.
It should be something. It's like I tell my wife all the time. I don't like talking about my sex life, but we don't have it all the time. But when we do, I'm not doing it out of love. You know what I mean? And I'm doing it out of compassion.
You're not just there to wham bam, thank you, man, get your rocks off.
Right. I'm there looking at her. I am hers, and she is mine. And together, so I think it's best I could talk about my marriage. My marriage is, I didn't believe that love existed. I went through a dark path where all women are evil and they're just no good in my life. And my past about this kind of stuff. And my thing is,
you like a lot of men, you went through quite a bit of turmoil before you found a good wife, and that's usually how it's going to go.
When I met my wife, she moved next door to my house, and she came over, and I liked her. We went on a couple dates. I love her personality. I love the fact she's a bookworm. She's a nerd. I love nerds. She likes anime, which drives me crazy sometimes, but she's a huge anime lover. But she's always saying, do you remember this? Do you remember this? I always say, yes, dear, even though I don't remember any of that stuff. But my thing is, I love my wife. And if something that she loves, question, I'm willing to sacrifice my happiness because in truth, she is my happiness.
Yeah, men are
So,
willing to sacrifice their happiness for the sake of their family, and a lot of women, sadly, are willing to sacrifice their family for their happiness.
so we got in a fight, and I'm not sure it
You threw
should
her out
be.
the window.
No. It was a balcony. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, I didn't mean
Good
that.
comeback, bro. Good
she
comeback.
bounced. Okay. Anyways,
She
listen.
bounced.
No, we got this big fight, and it was, oh my God, it was bad. We were saying things we both didn't mean. And then I went outside the front door, sat in a chair. I'm like, there you go, Thomas. You just fucked up another relationship. Here you are. You're doing the same thing over and over and over. And then she looked out the door, and it's the first time this has ever happened to me. This is how I knew she was the one. And she didn't have to buy me nothing. She looked me straight in the eyes. She goes, "Are you done?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "All right, let's go to the bedroom real quick."
You button hooked me. I didn't know you were gonna button hook me.
She accepted my anger. She took it and dissolved it, and she pushed it back at me in a positive way, which changed my life forever. Forever. So the abundant fact, that was one of the things. We have been married now, going on for 6 years now. We've been together for 6. We've been married for 5. We're going on 6 years of marriage. So she constantly tells me that I'm only going to get married once, and I know you've been married more than once, but I will only be married once. So if you're mad or you're angry, I don't care what you do. You can go for a walk, you can hit a tree, but you ain't leaving me. A woman that wants me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Me.
That is rare.
Like, I look in the mirror and I see nothing. And when my wife looks at me, she sees everything. Potential. I remember one time I lost my job. It was on our wedding day. And my boss, I even let him know in advance that I was going to get married on this day. And they approved it. But then they took it away and said if I didn't go to work, I would lose my job. So I called my wife and I was like, I'm going to lose my job if I get off work. And she goes, "You think I'm marrying you because of your money? Do you think I'm marrying you because of what you can provide and give to me? You are mine. Get your ass down here and marry you." She goes, "Forget that job. You'll get another one." I married her. And she gave me the greatest gifts ever. She gave me two more children, and they are amazing. And one of them looks just like her mother, if not. And she's Irish. All right, she has a temper, and so is my little.
Oh, geez, that's why she's willing to fucking put up with this. Like, she can dish back what she can not only take it, but she can dish it back.
I remember my ex came down and she hit me, and I told my wife about it, and she's already tying up her hair walking down the stairs, and I had to pry her in the house. I was like, "It's not worth it." She goes, "No, hey, no, let me," because she was fighting me to get to her, and I'm like, no. And then I looked at her, and she looked at me, and she was, "Give me one good reason." I said, "Because this might be a possibility I could lose my children." And I couldn't ask for a better wife. She's a great, great woman.
Yeah.
We've been through a lot of ups and downs, but I'm hers and she is mine. And here she is. She's so beautiful.
Let's meet the woman. Let's
meet
the wife.
Me psycho.
I said, suck up.
Suck up.
Yeah.
Want to take?
Oh.
Want to take this inside?
Oh, you'd love to get inside, wouldn't you?
Oh, if I could show you the look she gave me, man, my heart just.
Get her on camera. Put her on camera.
You want to go on camera?
No, I don't.
She doesn't want to come on camera.
Ah.
She'll let me do this stuff, but doesn't typically like this being on air and stuff. But she is a great gamer. That's another thing that I love about her. She's worse than I am.
You fucking live on video games, man.
I'm not a video game lover. I like a good challenge. Like I have ADHD, so I like to play Ark or Subnautica because I could build. I don't give really shits about the game, like getting artifacts and stuff. I love to build. I've built mansions, houses, bridges, and it helps me with my ADHD. So
there you go.
But 90% of the time, I'm on YouTube, looking up something, learning about something. And my wife, she's here's the thing. She always gave me something to eat. She'll ask me if I'm hungry. Every time I go to work, my lunch is packed. When I come home, my clothes are washed. I never had to ask her for any of that stuff. But you know what I give her in return? Anything and everything she wants. Because I know deep down in my heart, all she wants is her family. She has told me that
the D.
Yeah, she like anyway, like you know.
So I have a genuine question here.
All right, go ahead.
You're describing all these characteristics of your spouse. What about her made her that way? Because you're talking about you want to get society back to this old dynamic, the dynamic that you have in your relationship.
You're gonna love this.
Get people to re-embrace and have what you have and hold the ideals that you have.
I don't want to name names.
What would you say made her that way?
Let's just say, okay, you know how the women we were talking about. Let's just say certain people that raised her. I'm not naming no names. Raised her to be that way. Only use a man for her money. If he doesn't have money, then you shouldn't be with him. My wife saw the way that, because my wife was raised with a single mother. She never had her father in her life. And she had a horrible life bringing up. There's a lot of things I really want to talk about on the air, but let's just say her.
Yeah, you don't need to get into details.
Let's just say family had things done to her that wasn't right. And we're talking about bad things.
Okay, and so basically, to surmise, she had experiences that pushed her to the point of, I don't want to be that person. I see this, I don't want to be that person. It's like the saying, you have two brothers whose father was an alcoholic. One grew up to be sober, the other turned into an alcoholic. And they asked both brothers, why did you make the choices you make? And they both answered, because my father was an alcoholic.
Well, she wanted
her reality shaped who she is, and she saw things she didn't like and said, that's not going to be me.
So basically, this might help bring back the whole topic of how we can make this relationships be better again, like it used to be. Is the fact that my wife made a choice. She wanted to have a husband, and she wanted to relive her life through her children's eyes, knowing that their children had a father in their life. She wanted a life partner. She wanted
to give her children the life she didn't have.
She submitted to me as a provider and a protector. I am honored. I am beyond. Hold on. Ooh, damn, man. The fact that she sees that in me, knowing my past, never judged me. She knows everything I've done wrong in my life. So I wanted to make sure that's what you did. That's not who you are. I see who you are. And you're going to be a great father to my children. And we need each other in life because you were brought up and did things in your life that you regret. I was raised and I wanted to be something better. And she believes that God brought us together for a reason. So,
fair enough.
My thing is, she's not submitted to me. I'm not saying she's my maid. She's not. There's nothing.
You guys are equal, but you understand
our
role. You each understand your role and what's required.
So here's the thing. Like, She submits to me, and I love her back. Anything she asks me to do, like say, "Hey, can you go get that for me?" Absolutely. Hey, if you're not too busy watching YouTube, can you come down and take out the trash? Absolutely, honey. Is it just the one? I ask her questions. Like then every time I'm around her, is there anything I can get for you? Can I serve you? We as men have to serve our women with loyalty and respect. Women have to
Yeah.
serve their men through love and respect. There's nothing that a man in this world loves more from their woman than getting respect from them.
Yeah, men equate love with respect, and that was the problem with a couple of my past relationships. Is that men equate love with respect, and love is a choice. These women, not going to say names, chose to disrespect me. I chose to leave, and the last one, I went on a date with her best friend and sent her the photos. Yeah. Don't fuck around with me.
Jerry. All right.
I'll push back and then guarantee you that friendship is over.
So it's kind of like a mutual respect thing. If I'm there, I can't remember this one time I broke down when my grandfather died a few years ago, and he was my last grandpa. My grandma's downhill right now. She's been getting out of the hospital. We might lose her here in the next few months or to a year. She's getting really bad. That's my last grandparent I got. So that's why I haven't really moved down there yet, because there's a lot of things going on here. There's a lot more to that too. I mean, but anyways, I broke down and I told her I have to go to the hallway, and this was at the church, and she said, "Why?" I said, "Because I just need to be alone right now." And she goes, "Why are you gonna hide your feelings from me?" I said, "Baby, and that's exactly why I just don't want to be judged." She put my head on her shoulder and she said, "Let it out." She didn't judge me. She didn't make me feel like I was little. It was the first time I actually let it out. And it was more than just my grandfather's death. Like I've been holding so much. And she just took that from me.
Yeah.
And she hugged me.
You're supposed to bear each other's burdens. And that's something that I've noticed. And it doesn't really get talked about a lot. Though a lot of these activists out there will talk about how women don't want to hear about a man's struggles. They just want to hear that something happened. This is how he overcame it. They don't want to do the journey. They just want to wait at the finish line and fuck the winner kind of thing.
Yeah,
they don't want to hear about a man's weaknesses. They want a man who is essentially a Hercules or a Samson. They don't understand that men are human beings too. They have strengths, they have weaknesses, they have things that get overwhelming. And a woman's job is to be a lover and a nurturer. She is to be a man's helpmate, his shelter from the storm. How the hell can that even be the case if you can't even open up to your significant other because they're going to see it as a sign of fucking weakness?
Where's the thing? If you're in a relationship and the only thing you're doing is fucking, sorry for saying that, then that's all the man's going to want from you. Yeah. If you give a man respect, he'll remove mountains for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There is nothing a man would not do for you just for respect. It's so funny that a woman can not date a man who has a lot of money. He needs a lot of money, but a man can marry a woman from McDonald's. Most men, we don't care about that. Yeah, we don't care about where you come from or whatever. We want respect and love. And if you let us be vulnerable to you and you respect us and give us the strength that we need, we would move mountains. We would work our asses off for you. There's nothing we wouldn't do for you. Men are so simple.
They are. But the problem is, Thomas, and I don't know if you realize this, because a lot of men don't is that women genetically, across whatever species, the female of any given species seeks out the strongest, most capable males of the species. And it's the same with women. That's why they want the richest, the strongest, the handsomest, blah, 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 blah. Because it's ingrained in a female's DNA to seek out the best of the species in terms of being a provider, a protector, a father, blah, blah, blah.
What you're talking about is attractiveness. Yes, I mean, it is possible that
they're preconditioned and pre-wired to seek out the best of the best in terms of a partner.
Yeah, for what I hear from my wife, like I said, I was going to speak from my experiences. I've been with some women, and even include my wife. Yeah, I even asked her, "What is the most thing you love about me?" Because look at me, I'm a big guy. I'm strong, but I have big ass eyebrows. I'm not the greatest looking guy in the world, man. But she said, "You're funny."
Don't talk bad about yourself, bro. Don't talk down on yourself, bro.
And she says, "Well, you're funny. You're a funny guy. I love funny men. You have joy in you. You have the ability to make people laugh, even on their darkest days. You have a gift of bringing enlightenment into people's darkness." So that's why I love it. I don't love what you look like. And my wife does tell me, she goes, "You are handsome." But like,
yeah, I mean, you clean yourself up. You're a good looking guy.
Oh yeah, I need a shave and all that stuff.
Clean yourself up, like we brought up that picture on the commercial. You're cleaned up. You're wearing the TWWRN gear. You look good. Yeah, you clean yourself up.
Yeah,
and your wife's gonna have to be fighting the bitches in the neighborhood.
I think that's why she doesn't want me to stop growing my beard and stuff. Because I like younger. But oh my gosh, there's a few times my wife knows about this, so I'm gonna say it. There's a few women at where I used to work at used to hit on me all the time. I had to tell them to back off. I even got a girl fired by reporting her, and I don't do that. I'm not a snitch or nothing, but like that. But when it happens for like 6 months, enough is enough.
When you gotta put your foot down, you gotta put your foot down, and that's just a good sign. You know, even if you were single, you looking at somebody who refuses to take no for an answer, that's a sign of disrespect right there.
Right.
I mean, if they can't even respect your boundaries in the initial, how the fuck are they gonna fucking respect your boundaries in the long run? I actually had that a couple of years ago. This person was a longtime friend, and when I bought this house, I was really coming up financially. She started sniffing around again. Like I really hadn't heard from this person in a while. But then, you know, I'm on the up and coming, and I'm making myself a priority. I guess she picked up on it, and she started trying to move in on me, and was offering to paint my house and was sanding my bathroom and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, cool friend, somebody to hang out with. You know, I got somebody to help me with the remodel of the house because I'm working all these hours. Cool, whatever. But then her intentions came out, and she was trying to get at me. And I had suspected it for a while, and, you know, I kind of nipped it in the butt because I wasn't into this person like that. And they finally came out with it, and I'm like, look, point blank. If you're going to be point blank, I'm going to be point blank. I'm not into you like that. And they've had kind of a checkered past. Like I've seen them in their past relationships. I don't date the exes of my friends, and the last person she was with was a friend of mine. I don't do that. And I saw when his chips were down, she dipped. And I'm like, no, that ain't cool. So like there was no way I was gonna fucking be down with this shit. And I alluded, look, because of what I went through with a certain ex, my standards and my boundaries are extremely high. And I think she kind of took it as I wasn't over this person, so they just tried to keep pushing. They weren't really getting the hint. So I had to tell them, like, look, you either back the fuck off right now or I'm blocking you and we're not talking again and our friendship's over. They kept pushing. I blocked. I didn't even say another thing. I'm like, blah.
I don't blame you, man.
Well,
really
I mean, she
don't.
obviously didn't get it. I mean, if I'm not going to take this shit from, and she was a slightly older chick, wasn't the most beautiful, and I'm not shallow. I'm not shallow by any means. But if I'm not going to take that same bullshit from a hottie in their 20s, what the fuck makes you think I'm going to take it from some old grandma bitch whose face looks like somebody tried to put out a forest fire with a screwdriver?
Mm.
Yeah. By the way, that was supposed to be funny.
Look, man.
Yeah, but like
when you said screwdriver, I thought about orange juice and vodka.
Oh, you were thinking of that kind of a screwdriver. No, like it's from South Park, the Canadian characters. Your face looks like somebody tried to put out a forest fire with a screwdriver.
Okay, I can see it now. South Park is bad, man, but really, really, really funny.
Yeah, they're great.
Oh yeah, I love South Park.
If you think that's funny, you ought to watch Cannibal the Musical. It's one of Matt and Trey's original projects, and what inspired a lot of the shit that you see on South Park.
Yeah, I know Seth Green was one of the main guys there. I love Seth Green.
Yeah, Seth Green is very funny.
Yeah, he's fun. I even liked him in Buffy. Oh, did you hear about Giles, the Rupert? No, what's his name?
Oh, she wanted the angry meat, Revan. She wanted it. But I had to put my foot down and say, hey, I'm not into you that way, and there's good reason I'm not into you that way. Back the fuck off. I like you as a friend, but man, I'm putting my foot down. We ain't going past that shit.
I think, okay, so from Buffy, Giles, Dawn, and Xander, they all died. Did you hear about that?
I did not. But then again, I don't really pay attention to celebrity gossip.
It's not gossip. They really did die, and it broke my heart because it was my childhood.
No, she didn't want she didn't miss the mustard, man. She wanted the mayonnaise.
All right, so what can we do to bring back good marriages and stop this?
I would say
I think women need to have more respect for themselves.
They do. And the difference is there is not respect. Women would equate respect with their pride and their egos. There is more ego in a lot of the women, and especially in these younger up and coming generations, than there is in older generations. A lot of women in the older generations, they're scorned because relationships didn't work out. Like I said, my father was married to another woman when he met my mother and conceived me. She wanted him, pardon my French, but to quote a line from Dr. Dre's The Chronic, 2001, I was a keep a nigga baby. You know, again, pardon my French, but you know, that's the best way I can describe it. She had me to try to tie him down because he was trying to go back to his family, and she was like, no, she was smitten with him, so she had me to try to end that relationship and tie him down with her, and it didn't work out. So I was the resented bastard child.
Yeah. Well, me and you weren't really brought up in the most greatest ways, man. So
yeah. But what I'm saying is, you know, a lot of people from that generation were bitter.
Oh yeah.
For whatever reason.
I have no
and
doubt.
they passed it on to their children, like the mothers to their children in particular, made boys simps, or they became drug addicts or got involved in gangs or any sort of criminal behavior. And they taught their daughters to be gold digging hoochies with this princess mentality. It's like, dude,
Well, a lot of women are lazy.
You're living in a shed hooked on fucking meth. You're not a fucking princess.
Well, listen, let's switch the roles a little bit. What if we went up to women and expect them to pay for the first date? And
They'd have a fucking shit fit. If we expected a tenth from them that they expect from us, they would have a colossal meltdown.
Like, they think they're privileged because they're female, and it pisses me off. Like,
yeah, there is a lot of privilege, and it has to do with a lot of how they were brought up. Like, I had an ex who, it was I was kind of a simp in this situation. She was fucking around with other people. One of the guys had a lot of money, and I brought her home from this person's house, and we stopped off at her mother's house, and her mother was saying, "Hey, the utility bills due. You should have write so and so and have him pay it." Like right there in front of me, and I was just kind of dumbfounded. I'm like, "What?"
man.
I mean, this is the kind of shit that mothers would be teaching their daughters. Hey, you need to hit up this guy whom you're not even interested in and play him up to get him to pay your fucking bills. And I'm like, the fuck? And again, I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to put people on blast. But
I mean,
that
that's
stuck with me, dude. Like, I was like, whoa. Because not only did they have the brazen balls to fucking say it, but said it right in front of the guy who said it right in front of me. I'm like, what? I mean, the level of not give a fuck was astronomical. And this is what we're dealing with in society.
well. That's
Parents
why
or
that's why.
Yeah.
That's why you hear. That's why there's more suicides for men than women.
Yeah.
It's very common for a man to get so depressed because of losing his children or losing the people he loves and being used, and then he physically can't handle life anymore, and then he just jumps off a bridge or commits suicide because he can't handle it.
Yeah, and most men will reach that point, even if they don't commit suicide. They might reach that fucking point at some point. Most men, and probably every man that's lived on this planet has probably faced that decision at one point in his life. Sure, same.
So, basically, my wife kind of saved my life. My children saved my life as well. Oh man,
It hits hard.
it does, man. I don't want to talk about. Yeah, I did try at one point in my life, and it scared me how badly I wanted it to be over.
Right.
So, kind of like which brings me to my other thing that we need to start bringing back into relationships, romance. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, when we were in school, we had to woo the girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
it wasn't about the money because you're in high school. You didn't have money back then.
No,
So
man.
you had to have game. You had
a game. You had to have
charm.
flowers. You had to have charm. You had to have, man. You had to be.
You had to make something out of nothing.
You had to surprise them, like sneak letters in their backpacks and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or stupid things like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
women loved that back then.
You had to be creative. You had to take what you knew and aspects of your character and apply it in real life. You literally had to make something out of nothing because you had nothing. Hey, men in particular had that big problem because prior to being 18, men have no value. starting out, they have to build their value. They have to work hard to be able to reach the status that they can be an adequate leader, provider, and protector. Men don't start out like that. Women, on the other hand, they get their value right up front because they have the youth, they have their purity, and all of that.
And nothing.
Our value is contingent on what we can provide. And prior to 18, you're not even on the track at that point. So you gotta freaking be a master at the game.
Right. For instance, like I hate when women they use like
keep talking, I'll be right back.
Well, they say stuff like well, we give birth and you don't understand our pain and we don't need men in our lives. I said, you need men to get pregnant, don't you? Like you bring out life. All right. We put life into you. See, right now, inside of every man's groin, there's thousands and thousands of living organisms. And without it, your eggs are just dead. So, yeah, you need men. You guys, we need each other. Respect goes a long way. I'm not hating on women. I don't hate women. I think there are really good women out there. And there are single mothers that are doing good with their children. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about majority. Majority of women aren't. I have a lot. I believe that a woman can do anything a man can do. I honestly believe that. But if you're looking at majority, like oil rigs and stuff like that, like there's women that do that, but there's more men that do that. I'm talking about majority. Like my mother's a great woman. She's tough as nails. My wife is tough as nails. My sister's tough as nails. I have a lot of respect for women, especially my mother. My mother is a good woman. She treated my father with respect, which taught me how to respect my father. My father taught me how to protect, be a provider for my family. You know, I still gave, like when I first got my first job and stuff, I was helping my parents pay their bills. And when I had my own place and I had my own money, I still help them with bills or anything that they have. I've been helping them for years, but I don't ask for anything back, even though they try to pay me back. But it's the fact that they're my family. You know what I mean? We just need to bring respect and love back to this country, especially for people. Like, there's women that love men that beat them, and the women don't respect themselves. The women will stay with the man that beats them, but she stays with him because she loves them, which I get that's hard, but it's like, are you staying with him because you are used to that life? Or used to his presence? There's so many reasons, and I understand what you're saying, Chris. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, it's Stockholm syndrome. The brain gets not only used to, but dependent on the ups and downs, the highs and lows, the intensity of the relationship, and that's why when they do eventually leave those relationships and they get with a nice guy like yourself or myself, they'll tend to leave or lose attraction because that same intensity is not there. They don't want the intensity, but the chemicals in the brain, the endorphins and the serotonin require it. They need those highs and lows. It's like an addiction to drugs or cigarettes or alcohol. It's a type of addiction. So it's not love per se. It's more like addiction.
What is that, cheese?
String cheese, yeah.
I like string cheese. You save me some, okay?
Come down here, motherfucker. Got a fridge full of it.
Oh man. So like I said, there are good women out there. I have nothing
most
against
certainly.
women. I love women. Don't get me wrong. I've seen some cool, badass women I used to work with. And that's another thing we argue about. A lot of women say men make more money than women. Not true. What I'm saying is that if you're talking about a majority, then yes. A majority of men make more money than majority of women.
It also
Because
depends on the type of job you work. Like you work factory. Would you
Right.
say that you make more money than another person on the line?
No.
Than a woman on the line? No, you guys are getting
Nope.
the same pay.
That's right.
Unless you have seniority.
And there's some women out there that are
and
like
have been
getting
there several years.
so mad that we're getting paid more. I said, well, then go to work.
Yeah.
If you want equal rights, join the service.
Mm-hmm.
Fight for what's yours. And the women that do that, I have respect. A whole lot of respect for. But I even see women who go in the military and stuff, but still good to their husbands when they come home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
because the military instills values.
That's what I'm saying.
Structure.
You need to value your marriage more than you value your possessions or position. So that's my third thing. Value. That's the third thing I wanted to talk about. Mm-hmm. You need to value one another, not for prices, and keep the reason why you guys got together in the first place alive. Keep it going. If you are romantic,
if it's for anything other than that, run.
Every time I get in a relationship, like I got it with this one, this is who I am. Take it or leave it.
Right.
I'm not going to pretend to be something I'm not. If you're going to be if you're taking her out all the time and doing this and she's loving it and you change, then yeah, if they leave because of that, that's fine. But like, and everybody says there's always a honeymoon stage. My honeymoon stage, don't get me wrong, it goes ups and downs, but like 90% of the time, me and my wife do the same things. We're not fake. Yeah. I tell her how it is. She tells me how it is. We accept one another and we grow. Yeah. We all need to start growing, man. Like, we need to bring the actual meaning of love back.
Yeah, we have become lovers of ourselves in terms of society. And we need to get back to a selfless mindset. And that's where relationships have gone now. And it's not just women, it's men too.
Oh yeah, don't even
dynamic. It's like, okay, what am I gonna get out of this? Instead of going into the relationship going, okay, what can I give in this relationship? What do I have? Like they say it all the time. Don't look for a good woman. Be the kind of man that a good woman will pursue. And that's why I say men need to just focus on themselves. Focus on bettering yourself, increasing your value, and then the women just come to you. I don't chase women, man. You think my ex-girlfriend came to me or that I chased her down? No, she hit me up. And then when she got stupid, you think her best friend, that I pursued her best friend? No. Her best friend heard about what happened and was pissed off, equally as pissed off at her because of some other shit. So it was a spite thing. Okay? I don't have females chasing me. You think that I pursued that chick who wanted to come into my house and help me do the remodel? No. She was pursuing me. Why? Because I'm not chasing. I just focus on myself. I'm not being selfish. I'm just prioritizing myself.
How the hell is that selfish?
Yeah, I prioritize myself and put myself first, and everything else just falls in place.
Well, Chris, you got to realize if you can't love and respect yourself, you can't give that to somebody else.
Yeah.
It's physically impossible. Mm-hmm. If you don't respect yourself and you get into a relationship, you're still going to make her go nuts because she wants you to feel good and you're not allowing her to do that. A lot of relationships break up because of that kind of shit.
Yeah, because a man's so negative about himself.
You got to realize that's why women like men with more confidence. I hear that all the time. If you're confident, they love that. They need that.
I tell you, don't talk down about yourself, man.
I would say I don't call myself ugly. All I said was I'm not as good looking as the average guy. You know what I mean? That's acceptance. I'm a 4 out of 10 at least. You know what I mean? Not a 0. You know what I mean? But I'm real. I'm in reality. I'm not gonna say I'm a 10 like most women would say they're fucking 10s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, fucking
Again, it's that princess mentality that they're brought up with. It's like, oh, you're a princess, honey.
I asked my wife the same question one time. Rate yourself as beautiful 1 to 10. She said 6. I agree. I think my wife's the most beautiful woman in the world, but is she in my mind? Let's talk about lustful mind, which is a sin, by the way. But I don't react on it. In my lustful mind, if I'm looking at her, just her body and not her heart, is she a 10? No. 6, 5, 6.
You're sleeping on the couch tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
But listen, but she is hot. You know what I mean? I don't like skinny women. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying she's fat. She's not. She's thick. And let me tell you something. There's a big difference between fat and thick. I like big women.
Okay.
Like, I can't be with a skinny girl. What am I going to do? Start a fire?
Right?
You know what I mean? No, I'm all right. I don't want to pick my teeth with a girl. I want something to keep me warm at night just as much as I would her. You know what I mean? I want us to go and enjoy our lives. You know, I'm not saying go be obese. That's what I'm saying. All right.
No.
All right. I'm
Take
just
care of
saying,
yourself, but
take care of yourself, but enjoy your life. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have, and that's why.
Don't come out looking like a fucking skeleton like Ariana Grande or Cynthia Rivaro, is it?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, those women need to eat something.
Yes. And they're too damn, like, they're.
Like, you sit there and fucking, it's like their bones are clacking and whatnot. It's like, you see those cartoons where the skeletons are dancing?
Yes.
That's what it must sound like when somebody tries to have sex with them.
Oh, God. It's like chattering teeth on a cold day. You know what I mean? Like,
so just don't.
Which brings us to my last thing. I want to talk about how we make relationships like it used to be. Respect.
Yeah.
Compromise. All right. Compromising is a huge cues into a relationship. One of you have to take a knee. If you're going to argue, one of you have to take the knee. And then I'm talking to men now, not women. All right. Bet you didn't see that coming. Men, stop arguing with your fucking women. Stop it. All right.
Yeah, that's weakness. If you're right, you're right. Just do what needs to be done.
There's 3 rules that my grandfather told me when I was a kid how to keep a woman happy. Number 1, if she tells you to do something, fucking do it. Don't be a bitch and go, no, it's not my job. It is your fucking job. Your wife's asking for your help. So fucking help her.
Yeah. So let's clarify that. Not her telling you what to do, but asking. Okay?
I'm not saying, yeah, well, she's being
it needs to be asking, not telling, because if you allow we're talking about.
Oh no, I'm talking about this.
Men,
if you're being
game leaders and whatnot, okay, do not be a submissive.
No, what I'm trying to say to you, if a woman's asking you, hey, can you please come and do this? Then do it. But if she's being a bitch, nah, man, fuck you. But like,
exactly.
No, I won't accept that from any woman. You know what I mean? My mother, I will. She's the only one. Anyways, because that's my mom. Another thing, 2. This is my grandpa's rules, by the way. I just letting you guys know. Okay. Number 2, never argue about somewhere to eat. No matter what, always make sure she chooses where to eat. Because it really don't matter what the fuck you want.
Yeah, a little trick to that I've learned, and it's really caught on to a lot of.
I think I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go. Honey, you're never gonna guess where I'm taking you for dinner.
Taco Bell.
Wherever she guesses, that's where you're going.
How'd you know we're going to Taco Bell?
Believe it or not, that's one of the ex that I referenced earlier. The first one from years ago. You know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
That was her favorite place to go. It was fucking Taco Bell or fucking Thai food or Taco Bell. 9 times out of 10, bitch wanted fucking Taco Bell.
9 times 10, that bitch went to the toilet. Anyways, let's see here. 3. All right. Never make her feel lower than you. You're not supposed to dominate your woman. You're supposed to guide and protect your woman.
Yes.
There's no ownership over women. You cannot look at them like a piece of fucking meat that you can fuck anytime you want. Or do your bidding whenever you want. You don't want to walk in like, I'm the king of this motherfucking castle. You're going to do what I tell you to do. Otherwise, you're out.
Walk up in the room like, fuck everybody but me.
But, you know, if you come home and you give your wife a kiss and you appreciate that she's watching over the kids and maybe you can take over for her and stuff like that. I'm going to say, never make her feel lower than you. It's an equal partnership. And number 4, a lot of men are going to take this wrong, and I'm pretty sure Chris might take this wrong.
Okay, just for that, I'm going to take it wrong.
Even though she is wrong, and you know she's wrong, she is always right. No matter what. So even if you know you can swear to God or up and down, you will not win that battle. You will not win that battle. I told my wife she was wrong one time, and she said, fuck you, don't talk to me. She got mad. You know what I mean? I said, I'm just being honest with you. She goes, well, that's how I do it. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah, women are not logical creatures. Like, you can bring
women hate being proved wrong. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Hate being proved wrong, hating accountability, blah, blah, blah.
Yes. So if you follow these 3
reaches the
4
point
rules,
where you just can't get along and you can't coexist, don't argue with it. Just walk away.
Just walk away, man. I do. If I'm mad, go for a walk.
Yeah, and if it's to the point that you have to walk away from the relationship, then you just be like, okay, I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to try to beat you into submission. I'm not going to try to force you to be what I need you to be. It's like either you're going to do it or there's the door.
I think you should go. You should at least date for a couple of years, maybe before you can make that decision to probably get married to. Let's bring that up. You know what
absolutely. I mean? Do not jump into marriage.
Right? Don't do that. I mean, I married my wife after a year. You know what I mean? I'd say at least 1 to 2. 1 because I got to know her family, know me. We had a child already. I'm gonna be honest with you. I asked her to marry me, but she told me no because
get off her.
Listen, she told me no because she didn't want to get married because we had a child. And yeah, I have the best wife ever, dude. And she even told me before, she goes, whether we get married or not, she goes, we're just going to do joint custody. You don't have to worry about me going after you. We're going to do this together. I'll have them 1 week. You can have the baby the next week, and we'll just split it up. And I was like, well, I really wanted to marry you. And she goes, I don't know that for sure. I'm not saying you're lying. She said, I'm not going to marry you because we have a child. She got to know my family. She got to know me. She didn't really accept a lot of my family. A bunch of my family are jerks in a positive way. I'm going to say that. Kinkaids are hard to deal with sometimes. You know what I mean?
Not everyone can be a painter, right?
Right. Shut up, man.
Hey, but, how often do I ever make that joke, Thomas Kincaid?
Chris Sheldon, what are you, a genius?
Yes.
Shut up, man. You have a roommate with you? Oh, you're about to? I guess I'll be Leonard. Fuck it.
Come on down, Leonard. I got the proton pack in the spare bedroom right now, so I'd have to clear that off. But
so how I asked her is that I was so upset. It was almost a year, and it was about maybe 3 months off. And I walked in the kitchen and I said, for God's sake, we're going to get married. Take the ring. And that was my proposal.
Wow.
We're gonna get married, okay? I want
That's
to
about
marry
as
you.
real as you can get.
I said, I'm gonna marry you. She goes, okay. And I'm like, what the fuck?
There you go. There you go.
Pretty much how it went. Yeah. And then when I started walking down with that dress, man, I've been married. This is my third marriage, by the way. First one was a shotgun wedding. Okay, Chris can vouch. I was either gonna marry her or they're gonna take my kid away and go to Mexico. I had to
Yeah,
get married.
it was kind of a rough situation.
Second one was
But despite how young he was, he did man up and
I was 17
did the
when I
right
got
thing. He
married.
was there for his daughter.
Yes,
I
I
can
did.
say one thing for this man. This man went from being a young kid to being a man overnight and just fucking hustling and handling fucking business, dude. Like,
I was a father, and I've been in
it
my
was a
children's.
switch.
Yep. I was to be really funny. Chris Kivats. I was the funniest dude ever. And then well, I know. But when talk about that switch, when a man has his first kid, man, and when you look at that kid for the first time, a switch does happen like quick. Like you change. You don't mean to. You just do. I had an option. My first ex-wife gave me the option. She said that I could leave and that she wouldn't tell her mom it was me. And she said that I could live my life happy and she can deal with it. And she just moved to Mexico with her mom. And I have a lot of respect for that. And don't get me wrong, I'm gonna be honest to the world that I did go home scared. I was 16 at the time. Just remember, I was a kid. And I remember sitting in the chair at my parents' house when I got home, and I sat in there for 4 hours and wondering what to do. What if it's a boy or girl? But what about my life? And it was 4 hours. I was sitting there debating, and I finally came up with
You were a
one.
kid, your life hadn't even started yet, and then all of a sudden, and you were already a father.
So
I mean, how does a teenage boy process that?
I went up to my mother, and I told myself before I did, the reason why I left the chair was I'd rather suffer finding happiness with my child than live happy and miserable worrying about my child. So I walked up to my mom and I told her, and she looked at me very disappointed. And she says, well, I said, what are we going to do? I said, what do you mean what I'm going to do? I'm going to fight for my child. And I'm going to be with my ex-wife at the time, be with her, and we're going to figure this out because I don't want my kid out of my life. So I grew up. I got a job. I got my own apartment. I was raising her. Fortunately, it did not work out with me and the mother, and I unfortunately got custody of my children.
Yeah, and for the record, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't for lack of trying. Like, this man put forth the honest to God effort to make that marriage work.
I did.
He did.
I worked very, very hard every day, trying to work overtime, trying to give everything I can to my family that I have. I have lost 2 families, and if anybody out there that has lost a family, I'm so sorry. So I don't want you to go through that. That hurts. Like, that's beyond hurt. That's suffering.
Okay, so let's shift this to the more secular legal aspect of things. Like, we talked about what men and women could do in terms of changing their behavior and how they think and how they approach relationships. But what can we do in society to really turn things around? You know, it's not just the mentality and way of being, that the way people act. It's also the laws, the culture, the sexist favoritism in the legal system. And there's a lot of pushback on that. Like, what can be done to remedy this situation to where men are not afraid to go in a relationship because the legal system favors women, or a man getting into a relationship, or even afraid to hook up with a woman because she might claim rape the next day, kind of thing. Like, what can we do? What can be done to remedy these problems to where men aren't in a situation to where they are afraid to fucking breathe lest they get some sort of legal repercussions crammed down their throat?
Okay, so I believe that if you're talking about society, talking about the government, I think that if a woman is getting child support, we should have receipts of the money that's actually being used for the children. I believe that a lot of relationships will stay together as long as women have to provide proof of what they're spending their money on.
Forced
And
accountability.
right. So if you could force that, I'm pretty sure that divorces would stop rapidly, because women are no longer having money to themselves. They have to give it to their children, and that's too much of a hassle. And so they better just stick in a relationship. It goes for either
basically
partner.
what you were saying is not necessarily taking these things away, like the right to divorce, alimony, child support, but making it so it's not nearly as incentivized.
Right. So right now, women getting child support, they get it on a card and they can buy whatever they want, and they're not held accountable for it. It goes for men too, by the way. I think he should be accountable too. By doing this, I do believe that since they're not making a profit off it themselves, would save marriages, and it would make women have more respect for themselves as well, because now they can, instead of looking at men like a bank account, they can actually look at men for their hearts again, and actually be really cautious of who they be with, and gives them the hold accountable for their actions.
Yeah. So, take away the incentive, and, maybe make it a lot harder to get divorced. And,
right.
Again, far less incentivized. You don't reward somebody for breaking the contract. And it should be very difficult to break the contract.
It should be, because once you take that vow, I take that personally, by the way. A lot of people in the world look at it as a piece of paper. No, we're called to be married by God. It's not just paperwork and money. It's forever. It's to death to his part. It's under God. But besides the God thing, marriage should be sacred.
It should be. And I don't necessarily agree that it should be something that the government should be involved in. Again, it's a covenant that you make between you, your spouse, and God.
You gotta realize there's a lot of people these
not
days,
the state as the benefactor of the relationship. The state should have no stake or involvement in your relationship. It should just be you, your partner, and God.
Well, there's a lot of people who are actually getting married by the theme of it instead of doing the paperwork. They're just going to a wedding, and they're doing it with a priest. And
they're forgoing the paperwork and the marriage licenses. And I would agree with that.
And
that's why I disagree with the Mormon Church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because they say, to be able to go to the temple and be sealed in the temple and all that
forever,
you have to be married contractually by how the state defines it.
You had to be joined
to articles of faith. You believe in being subject to kings, magistrates, blah blah blah. I don't agree with that. And if anybody who's a member of my ward is watching this, I stand by what I fucking said. I do not agree with that first article of faith of being subject to kings, magistrates, and whatnot. And I don't believe that the marriage that the government should be in any way involved in your marriage. That's between you.
You think the Mormon Church believes that? You think the Mormon Church believes that we have to be documented by the government to get married?
Yes, I've looked into it.
Yeah, see, you're talking about Mormons. Now, I'm talking about real Mormons. Like, I bet you there's a lot of people out there that think like we do. You know what I mean?
As far as the church policy is concerned, they are very adamant about, if you want to go to the temple, you have to have a marriage license.
Well, you have to have a marriage license, not just because you have to have proof because you have to be married. It has to be documented. Even the Bible is documented. It's just
Yeah.
the whole thing is about the cost of it. No, yeah, I do believe you have to prove that you've been married, documented into the temple because even your family tree, my family tree, everything's documented in the church. If you want your whole
Yeah.
family history, go to the temple. My thing
Yeah.
is, I believe that
But there's
that's
other
right.
ways to prove something apart from a marriage license.
Well, I'm just saying marriage licenses don't cost much. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But here's the thing: you're looking at the expense of it. They just need a
I'm not looking
document
at
of
the
it.
expense. I'm looking at the government involvement.
I don't think that. Okay, so that's where me and you're going to differ. We're going to bump heads on this one because I do not believe the
Well, not
Mormon Church.
necessarily. I mean, you were saying the same thing just a few moments ago, that people are getting married
Right.
without involving the courts and the marriage license and everything. They're just going through the ceremony. They're making their covenants with God, which is what a marriage traditionally was.
But you can get a certain. Okay, so basically, if you want to get married, it's like the whole graveyard effect. I'm not going to share my wife with another noble lord. I'm going to do it in secret, so that way, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like that. Marriage is a binding thing with God. It shouldn't be a profit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure there is a way to get a document marriage license without paying for it. I think there's a way to do it. But the only reason why the Mormon Church itself is asking for a document of a marriage license is just to prove to the church that you are married, not just because of the profit, but this to prove that you are married. That way, because there's a lot of people sneaking into our temple. It's very sacred, Chris. Very, very
Yeah,
sacred.
I am aware of the temple.
And there's a lot of people that sneak in there on false. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I think they're doing it just because when you get married into the temple, you're sealed forever in eternity. They just need some proof or documentary that you are married because you have to be married to be sealed.
Yeah.
So I think we both agree on this. I do not agree that we should pay for a marriage because marriage is under God and this is a God right country. So that's why I've always said I believe in my country. I do not believe in my government. There's a lot of things that we shouldn't be paying for. Why is it that other countries around the world are feeding people healthy and people are not dying because they're more healthier when they go to markets and stuff like that? There's proven fact that there's better food outside this country, there's better dental, better health care.
Yeah.
And we're just in the shit right now. So America used to be one of the greatest countries in the world. Now we're just using it as a shield.
Yes.
To where it used to be a reality. But marriage should be a personal commitment under God. And
yeah,
you shouldn't have to pay for
common
that.
law marriage.
Yeah.
Or cohabitation.
Well,
but the church does not recognize that.
For instance, you can't get this is what I'm going to talk about. How Mormons should do this, and this is legal, by the way. You can do this, I believe. You can get married without a certificate, but do it under God. And after so many years, you can declare it married anyway. And
after 7 years, it's cohabitation.
I think that's plenty of
marriage.
I think it's plenty of time to get settled in, have kids, and do stuff before you decide to get sealed in the Mormon Church, and you'll have your document then. You know what I mean? So there's many ways to do it. There's a lot of things that Mormon Church I have a hard time swallowing. I've been studying the Bible for a long time now. Like I said, I'm not really good with speech, but I'm a really knowledgeable person. Like when I talk, you can tell I have like a slur or like a lisp. I'm not really good at talking. But I'm not going to stop talking because I don't look at my weaknesses as weaknesses. I look at it as I'm not going to allow that bring me down. All I'm saying is that no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree. if you want to marry somebody, you shouldn't have it documented or forced upon this and tax it, and it's stupid. And even divorces, I don't believe in
Yeah.
divorce. No, I do believe
It should only
in.
be in extenuating circumstances, to be honest with you.
Here's the thing: like, if you're marrying somebody and you already knew what you're getting yourself into, I mean, whose fault is that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, people need to
that's
take their
why.
time and make sure.
That's what I said. That's why you should date for like at least, at least 2 years. You know what I mean? I did it in one, but even my wife didn't want to get married right away, and I'm glad she made me wait because she made me think about her and what I do for her. You know what I mean? Men are
Yeah.
not selfish when it comes to that aspect. I just fully
No, they're
believe
really
that.
not.
Yeah, they're not. Men are simple beasts, man. We're easy to love if you respect us. Like I said, producing kids, feeding, and respect and peace. Four things that men want. You give us that.
You got to be a man's piece.
Peace is the big one because if I'm at work and when I come home, you know what my wife does? She don't say shit to me. She lets me sit down. I take a big breath. I cool off. I reprogram my brain to family mode. If that makes sense. Because I have a work personality and I have my wife and I's personality, and one of them is not fake. I'm not fake at work. I love what I do, but my actions are different because I am working for the man.
Yeah.
When I'm at home, I am responding to my wife. I'm not going to bring that home to her, so she allows me to have that moment of peace to allow me to register in my mind that I'm with
Where
my
you're
family
at.
now. Yes. So
Fair
I
enough.
think if a man is doing something, like if he's playing a video game or is he inside his garage working on a project or there's something he loves to collect or there's something he likes to do, let your man do it because the moment you take his peace away is the moment he loses respect for you.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of men opt out of relationships because a lot of these women will bring some like fucking chaos to a man's life.
Have you seen videos? Have you seen the one where
I've lived it.
I know that, but did you ever see a video about the man who was just working on something in his garage? And the woman was handling every time you come home, you're always in the garage, you're never in here with your family. Like, who the fuck you think you're talking to?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
mutual respect. It's like, hey, I don't knock you for wanting to get your nails done or doing whatever the little
right,
thing
when do your
that
nails
makes
done,
you happy.
go out with your
Fuck
girlfriend.
off.
Like, this is my piece. You're more than welcome to help me with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, don't tear me down because of it. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, video games is not a way of life. I get that, but games are fun. And if that's the one way, if a man's working hard for you and you're not doing nothing but providing, right? Or taking care of the children, okay? Which a man should do when he gets home too. I'm not saying that. But if he's playing a game and he's having a moment of peace, like say for like a Saturday, he just wants to play games and he just wants to relax because men don't really do that. You know what I mean? We're work, eat shit and die. We find our peace through other things, like some of it's games or projects that you build with your hands, or like you, Chris. I like what you're doing with your projects. You're painting them. I think it's cool as hell. But
yeah, when we get off the phone, I'll call you and we'll go in the other room. I'll actually show you the progress I've made on that project.
Yeah, man, I would love that. But it's like that's how it was back in the day. So that's how the olden times was. The men had peace. The man had order, but the men weren't like putting women down and thinking they're less than they are. They can dance in the kitchen while they're cooking a meal or something and being funny about it, or they can go for walks. It's not all about order. You're supposed to have
it's
fun.
Not that vicious stereotype that a lot of people think about. It's like, oh, barefoot pregnant in the kitchen, and if the wife got out of line, she got smacked the fuck up.
No, it never happened that way.
It really wasn't like that.
No.
There was mutual respect. People understood respect. They understood their roles. They understood compromise. and they understood what was required in the home in terms of their relationship, their family, their spouse's needs, their children's needs. They understood everything. And I think that's another point we need to touch on. Understanding.
Mhm.
There needs
Understanding
to
is
be
a big one.
understanding, universal understanding. You're not going to get everything perfect, but if you can get to the point where you have a relatively good understanding of the situation you're in and what is required from you universally,
I think you
do
should.
right.
I think you should intertwine understanding and trust in the same thing, because you gotta understand trust. You gotta trust your partner to be what they say, which comes with understanding is truth. And
You read that?
what?
You read that?
Read what?
The comment?
What's the comment? It's so little. I have a little phone, man. What does it say?
I pulled it up. Revan goes, I still have nightmares about my wife running me over with her menstrual cycle.
Oh my God! Here she comes. It's menopause. She's sweating. Run! All right. Anyways, no, man. When women are in menopause, they're fucking scary. Holy shit! But they should make a
I've
horror.
never dealt with a woman on menopause. So.
Thank God. You should thank God for that. Listen,
I do.
They should make a haunted house on Halloween called Menopause Mansion.
Okay, go roll with it. Roll with it.
You walk in there, right? And everything is in the kitchen but the butcher knife. And you got to sneak through this whole mansion and make sure this woman doesn't find you. You got to sneak underneath the bed and in the closet and try to sneak through the hallways just to get away from her. And then
like a video game.
Next thing you know, all you hear is screaming behind you. You have to run to the next door before she stabs you. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. Anyways,
that'd be a great game.
That would be a great game.
Menopause Mansion.
Menopause Mansion. That's funny. No, women are scared.
You do the video game design, maybe make something like that.
I probably could.
Yeah, I mean, you do a lot of that design. It'd work.
I like making designs for video games, man.
Yeah.
One day, hopefully, I make my own video game and maybe people might enjoy it.
Well, I mean, with some of the stuff you've been creating, I mean, if you had the right equipment, I have no doubt that you could probably do that. And you just need to get back on your feet and then just start making small investments. It's a little at a time.
Yeah, see how you're treating me though? Like, you should do this. You're doing good at this. That's the part of the understanding. I think women should talk to men like this as well. Because you put confidence in me, man. And
I don't know why you idolize me so much. I'm an asshole.
Because you're an asshole, I analyze you, bro. You're not fake.
Okay, I'll give you that.
You know what I mean? You say what you're not afraid to put money where your mouth is. You're not afraid to beat your chest. You speak the truth. You're here for the people. You give everything you can for the people, even though I've seen you your whole life and how you're brought up, and you still have enough love to give to the world, man. And I'm very honored to be a part of this broadcast. Dude, you're doing great things. I see great things ahead of your life, man. Like, you have a lot of strength more than you think you do, man.
There's a lot at the end of the tunnel. Oh shit, it's a train!
Oh my God, it's the vagina. All right, anyways.
What if this world is just one big vagina, and then when you die and you're walking towards that white light, you're actually giving birth. You're actually being born.
I would have got out with a cigar and go, hello, my honey. Hello, my darling. What if the world's a cookie and the stars are the salt and God's going to eat us?
It's got to end somewhere.
Hopefully I'm an Oreo. Oh, let's see here.
Now I want cookies, you bastard.
Doesn't the cookies sound good? My fat senses are kicking in.
Hey, I had a couple donuts the other day, and it didn't spike my blood sugar. Though I had like 3 fish last night, and that shot my blood sugar up over 200.
You had
Go
3
figure.
what?
3
Fish?
fish. Yeah.
How the fuck does that happen?
I shit you not.
It's fucking fish, bro.
Yeah.
It's like the most healthiest meats you can eat on the planet.
Yeah, this was yesterday. I had those fried fish, those fillet fish. I had 3 of them.
Oh, you had fried
And
fish.
it shot my blood sugar up to 201. I tested it a second time, and this was when we were on air last night. It was 209.
God, man.
Yep.
You gotta watch
But I
out.
had 1 glazed donut, and my blood sugar was 121.
Okay.
Go figure that shit.
That's normal. Like that's crazy, man.
I'm pretty sure. Like,
All right, fuck the fish.
there's the
Eat
highlight.
donuts.
And there's the fucking highlight. When I ate the
wow.
fucking fish. And then the blue text is the damn donut. Go figure.
Wow, man.
Yeah, go figure.
Wow. Go figure. Fucking fish. That mind. The fact that it's fried though makes more sense though.
Yeah.
Baked fish is really good for you, man.
Yeah.
If you're gonna fry fish,
Yeah, it's that breaded fish.
yeah. If you're gonna, I would just
I'm
do
gonna
it.
have to get like non-breaded fish.
Yeah, you can deep fry it, but do it healthier. Like instead of using white
Like
flour,
air fryer.
yeah,
In an air fryer.
air fryer. Use don't use canola oil. Use like coconut oil or
Coconut
olive
oil,
oil.
or no, not olive oil.
Coconut oil, and there's
There's another one that I have. I think
avocado.
it might actually be coconut oil.
It's avocado oil too. It's
Yes,
really good.
avocado oil. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you.
Very very
Avocado
good.
oil
for
is
you.
actually pretty good.
It is good, and it's good for your blood too, and it's good for your gut health, and it's good for your bloodstream. There's so many benefits for it. Trust me, I know. I'm on a weight loss journey, man. I lost a lot of weight, coming down from 430 plus pounds down to 210. I think I'm 2.8 now.
Nice.
Or 3.8. Sorry, 3.8. God damn it. I wish I was 2. God. Like, but I'm getting there, man. I have not lost
Yeah,
faith.
I was gonna say, like, I was nearly 200 pounds, and like I wasn't like much bigger than I was now. It was mostly in here in my gut.
Yeah,
Like I
well,
kind of had the beer belly going on there. But like,
yeah.
structurally, like my overall build didn't change that much.
No, man, it didn't. Matter of fact, when you first told me you were getting fat, I was like, what the fuck ever? I'm looking at you right now. And when you stand up, I was like, what happened? Are you pregnant?
Yeah.
But
I'm down to like 169 now.
Yeah, I know. You showed me the other day, and
I lost like 30 pounds.
you lost a lot of weight. Good for you, man. I'm working on it.
For diabetes, it was all water weight, and I pissed it out.
But men need to take accountability too, man. They really do.
They do. There's a lot of men that don't take accountability.
There's a lot of piece of shit men out there, man. Man. Like when men treating women like they're like pieces of meat that they can mess with, take advantage of. There's a lot of women that do surrender, and they are good women are with bad men, and they treat them like shit.
Yeah, and then they get out of that relationship, and then they leave the next relationship because they don't get the highs and the lows. They're not getting that dopamine and adrenaline and all that.
Once a woman gets used to being treated like shit, they expect shit from all men, and then they raise their children to hate men and only use them for products. And I think that's where a lot of these problems came from, is because us men are not taking accountability of how we treat our women.
Yeah.
But
you can't blame the next. Like we can't
you can't just blame it all on women
for what a previous ex did to us, and it's the same with.
It's the same with the other thing.
Women.
Why?
I'm sorry, bro, but I gotta get this off my chest.
Okay, go ahead, man.
There was a woman that came to live with me, her and her kids, an ex-girlfriend. We remained friends. I think you know who I'm talking about. I was with her when we were living in San Jacinto.
Yep.
Who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
She
I
came
do.
to live with me, and she came into my house day one acting like a total bitch, to the point that her own father even called her. I was like, he's like, this man just gave you and your kids a place to live, and you're acting like a total fucking bitch right now. And I asked her at one point, I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? And she pulled that all men are the same shit. It's like, well, you're a man, and I was treated like shit by men I was involved with. It's like, well, I've not treated you like shit. I'm not perfect. I'm an asshole. I've got a bit of a mouth that I need to learn to watch in front of your kids. I'm working on that. But beyond that, I've not done the shit that's been done to you. I've not done that shit to you. That's other people. That's not me.
Why do we have to pay the sins for their mistakes? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we as men need to fucking man up and go, look, we can't be treating our significant others like that, or women that we get involved with like that, because then that builds resentment.
I think everybody...
And then you get those type of mothers that raise their daughters up to be freaking gold digging princesses.
I think everybody needs to treat everybody else with respect, because say the reason why I think it can, like I said, here's the other reason why men do what they do is maybe because when they were at their weakest point, they ripped it out of them and all they know is hate. And so they work out and everything out of anger. And then they treat women like shit because now they can, because that's how they've been treated in the past.
Yeah,
and it's like
men and women both do it. Men and women are both guilty of it. They get hurt by somebody else, and then they take it out on others. They blame the opposite sex. How many men are going around now, red-pilled, going, I'm done with women because all women are bad because I had this experience or this series of experiences. It's the same damn thing with women. Some asshole fucked up, treated you like shit, and now you're blaming the entire fucking gender. You're blaming the entire fucking sex on the actions of one or maybe a handful of bad experiences.
So, you know, and that comes with thing. When women have children, a lot of men don't want to date women that have children. You know, and it's not because of anything. It's just that you feel like you're overstepping the boundaries of someone else's life, and it's too much of a headache. Because say if you get with them, right, and they decided that they don't want to be in this relationship anymore, they not only lose the mother, they also lose the child.
Why?
Why? What happened?
He goes, I would enjoy hearing a queef. Like, why? There, you got your queef, Revan. You got your queef.
Excuse me. You happy? If you're happy and you know it, queefy.
Oh, you want fart? You want farts? There you go.
Oh, that was more than a fart. That was Taco Bell on a bad Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Oh. Never mind. I want to throw up.
You better not mention that again, you cocksucker.
Goat in the ass. Like, oh my god. What in the goat ass? All right. That. The funniest thing I've ever heard since like the early 2000s, man. I swear to God. Right. Adam Sandler, man.
Grandma got a dildo for Christmas.
Oh my God. You remind me of American Pie 2. Remember he snuck in a lesbian's house and I am the king of the dildo.
I remember that.
Dildo. Anyways,
Okay, so back to what we were talking about.
anyways, yeah, we're naturally goofball like this.
Yeah, God
Yeah.
forbid he and I live under the same roof again. Oh, hell's gonna break
Oh,
loose.
that might come soon. Oh my God.
Well,
Probably
we'll
be
talk
right
about
there
that
next
after we
to
get
him.
off air. So let's go ahead and wrap. Let's go ahead and wrap it up, Thomas. Like, go ahead and give us your final thoughts on this.
Final thoughts. Respect one another. Respect your husbands. If you're going to make a commitment, make sure it's the right commitment you want to make. Stand up for what you believe in. Men, be more open-minded. You should pay on the first date. I'm not saying the second, but I think all men should pay on the first date. Don't make sure it's not expensive. Somewhere cheap. Movie, maybe get some coffee, something where you can, or go for a walk. Women, be more open-minded, be more respectful, and treat men with love. And I promise you guys,
Be
that
more
the world
humble.
the world will be a better place. And remember, the children need a mother and a father. So before you make a commitment having a child, make sure you're in the right spot. Make sure that you're going through the right direction.
Yes.
That's what.
And I would say, in addition, both men and women need to accept what their roles are in life. Women need to stop trying to be men. Men need to stop trying to be feminized or allowing themselves to be feminized. We need to stop. We need to stop having this stigma about our respective roles and this whole we need to be equal, we need to be the same. We're not the same.
We're not.
And that's not a bad thing. Men and women have their own unique strengths and weaknesses. They both bring something unique and special to the table. And we need to, as a society, stop shunning that idea. There's nothing wrong with somebody wanting to be a career woman if that's what you want to do. But you need to be a woman too, okay? And a man needs to be a man. You don't need to be, a woman doesn't need to be a man, and a man doesn't need to be a woman for you guys to be on the same page and on equal ground. If we as a society could get back to the idea of celebrating our differences, not shunning it, but embracing the uniqueness of the man, the uniqueness of the woman, and what each has to offer in society, in a relationship, in a family with children, whatever. We all have something unique to bring to the table. And if we can get back to celebrating and embracing our differences rather than getting caught up in this gender war and fighting for equality bullshit, and just be what God intended us to be. And I'm not saying in a subservient, toxic masculine, feminist, any of that nonsense. I'm just saying celebrate the strengths that each gender brings. Celebrate what you bring individually. If you can get back to that, society, I think, would be much better off and people would be much happier, because I think the biggest problem that we are having is that we have been conditioned to think we have to be something other than what we are. And that's why you get caught up in all this other trivial nonsense, because society and media and government has taught us that we as human beings, whether because we're human or because of the color of our skin or because of our gender, that we're not good enough, that we're never going to be on this level, that somehow, some way we're inferior. We're not. There is no inferiority in a gender. There is no inferiority in a race or being human. There's no inferiority to that. And we need to get past that. And we need to, as far as legality is concerned, is have a level playing field. We need to do away with this revolving door on fucking marriage and rewarding breaking the marriage contract. We need to do away with that fucking bullshit because it's a major dick in the ass, and the only one that's profiting off of it is the fucking system that's fucking raping us. Don't think that those who get that the courts through child support and alimony aren't getting a huge fucking cut out of it, because they are. And we need to stick the system right. We need to stick our boot right up the system's ass and say no more. And it starts with us. Not only do we need reform, but we need to reform how we handle things in our relationships and not allow ourselves to be caught up in toxic relationships or having this revolving door mentality of relationships. We need to treat it as something serious and something that needs to be respected. We all want love and connection and to have something that lasts. So we need to start treating it as such. We can't just expect it. We got to give it as well. It's not just about what we can get. It's about what we can give in a relationship. So if you want something that's going to last, you got to be able to provide something that's going to last. And that goes for men and women. And at which point that's going to really circumvent the system. Because then they ain't fucking profiting off your divorce or alimony or child support. You look at how much it costs for fucking divorce. You think they ain't taking a fucking huge payday off that shit? Oh no. It's a huge racketeering scam, and you are the cash cow. So we need to put a stop to that. And on that note, I'm putting the turkey in the oven because I am hungry. I want to get something to eat. And Bird and I got some business to talk about offline. So on that note, I am the Tin Man with the Worldwide Resistance Network. This has been another episode of Tin Man TV, hosted today by myself and, of course, Thomas Kincaid, the Tommy Bird. We will be back again for the roundtable this upcoming Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time. And also, Reverend asked me to let everybody know that he will also be doing an additional episode of Grey Jedi TV on Thursdays, so keep an eye out for that as well. So until then, I am the Tin Man with the Worldwide Resistance Network. Thank you, Tommy Bird. Thank you, Revan, and everybody else who tuned in and participated. Keep the conversation going after we've logged off. Share the retransmissions. Follow us on our various social medias, X, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, all at REALTWWRN. Check out our online store at realtwwrn.printify.me for tons of great merchandise. And until next time, stay strong, stay safe. God bless you all. And if you're watching this, you are the resistance.
You can hear this. You are not alone. This is the resistance.